This post-match report is proudly brought to you by Complete Sports Management, more footy, less admin, and Stat Guru, when numbers matter.
All right, so welcome back to CSM's coverage of the YJFL COLTS Div 1. We're here at Dromini Reserve for the Round 11 clash with Park Orchards and the Boroondara Hawks. Park Orchards have just had a pretty strong 41-point win. Coach, pretty happy with that one?
Yeah, I was, Tom. In the end, it was a really tough day for footy, wet and windy and gloomy. And I thought Boroondara took it right up to us. They competed really hard around the contest, around the stoppage. Some quick, strong guys in there, but to the credit of our boys, we challenged them to finish the game well, and they did, and outscored them probably against the win, 4-1, I think,
yep.
Which gave us a solid win. We sort of had that 20-point buffer for a lot of the game, but to the Hawks' credit, they got back to within 2 goals, I think, or even less.
Yeah, had to a goal there at one stage.
Yeah, which, they just kept boxing on, and credit to their coach and their players. They fought it out, I suppose, once we got up on top in the last. It allowed us to score a couple of easy ones, but it was a good game. Good game.
Beautiful. Jacob Price-Inglis missed a few weeks with injury. I think had a cooked knee for a while. Came back. He had 25 touches and a goal today. I remember when he was out, you miss that setup off half back. He sets up really well there, sits back nicely, and reads the play really well, and then delivers nicely into your forward 50. Happy with his game today?
Oh yeah, I was. I thought he was a standout player. Jacob, like a lot of our guys, we've got a lot of guys similar height and speed, and goes half forward, on ball, wing, half back, and today I thought it was a pretty complete game. You're right, he missed 5 or 6 weeks for us. In fact, from the last time he played the Hawks, he got injured probably round 2, I think.
That's right.
Big chunk. We've had a few injuries to guys, which every team gets, but to his credit, he's a terrific kid, and he's a really smart player, and had a good game. He had a few mates as well, which was good.
Excellent. Your midfield depth today, I thought that was fantastic. You were able to roll a lot of guys through there throughout the day and keep things fresh, keep things ticking over in there, which I thought, particularly in that last quarter, really showed when you were able to roll your key guys through there and they had fresh legs, and I thought that was what helped you kick away in the end there.
Yeah, as I was alluding to, we've got a pretty even mix of guys around that height, like Jacob, like Liam Taylor, Sammy Heron, Mason Whitnish played well, Jimmy Parker, Bailey Forbes, all these sorts of guys that can run. They're good athletic runners, and Maxi Lau, that they use the ball well. We just demand that they give a contest at centre bounce. Our rucks are good tall rucks, but still got to win the ball and get it going forward, and so we were able to move guys around. But as I said, the Hawks guys gave us a really tough contest, didn't they? So their work was cut out all day.
Excellent. And lastly, you took Mark and Matthew off pretty late in that final quarter there, just gave them a bit of extra rest. With the finals coming up now, and you're sitting pretty comfortably up there towards the top end of the player, a lot of your players have multiple games each week with school footy. Do you think you might rest some players, or keep in mind that you'll have a finals campaign coming up and keep that sort of thing in mind?
Oh yeah, sort of have half a mind on that. Moosey actually had a bit of a corky to his back, Matty Williamson that is, so he come off. Mark was just to get the ruck on, and we thought the game had got to a stage where it was, as I said, wet and dark. We were better off with a smaller forward line, so we just rotated the taller guys off the bench. That's all that was in that. But probably right, all of us guys coaching Colts teams have to deal with school footy and balancing that out. And it's not just that, it's the demands on these kids. Some of them are playing basketball, they've got VCE study, all these sorts of things that can add to fatigue. So it's a balancing act. But, come 3 o'clock on Sunday, they're all pretty keen to get out there and play. We give them all a go.
Beautiful. All right, thank you very much for your time. We'll be back here shortly with the interview from the Boroondara Hawks coach. So welcome back to Dromini Park, here with Jeremy Dixon, the assistant coach of Boroondara Hawks. Final scoreline probably a little bit flattering to Park Orchards. Boroondara took it up to them all day. couple of individual performances we'll just talk about quickly. Piers McDermott off half-back, contested really well all day, went third man up, had 22 touches and just really ran and drove it out of half-back for you all day.
Piers is a super footballer. I think one of the things he's got to understand is how well he can run from behind the ball.
Yep.
He gets a little bit caught going to his left side too often, being a right footer. Once he works out a couple of really small things in his game, he's got, I would suggest, elite speed, really brave in the air.
Yep.
And takes the game on. So
Yeah,
I think a lot of people watch him and sort of he wears flashy boots as well, so that helps a bit, but yeah, he's very capable.
Yeah, good. Another one in the midfield, Sam Townsend, tackled really hard for you all day and was a really strong presence in there. They've got a pretty strong midfield crew that goes through. He had 8 tackles alone in the second quarter, which was when you really got back into the game and brought it back nice and tight. So yeah, really good performance from him.
Yeah, we're lucky to have Tanner. He's just got back off a 3-week cricket tour over in England, so he hopped off the plane yesterday, so I thought he might be pretty jet lagged. Again, his contest is always first class.
Yep.
I think we probably expect a bit too much of him in that we don't get enough rotations through his position.
Yep.
And we probably don't assist him at the stoppage enough in blocking for him. And so our expectation is that he does a lot of the grunt work.
Yep.
So he probably doesn't get some of the outside ball that he should because he's always at the contest. But look, he's the co-captain of the side and a super player.
Yeah, put in a great effort today. We spoke about it last week. You've had some really great performances, but just fallen away, haven't been able to quite put it over the line and get the 4 points on the board. It's something that you'll keep working on for the rest of the year, I'm sure. And again, today you really struggled. You brought it right up. It was only a kick and a half in it halfway through that third term, and yeah, unfortunately, just fell away from there, and it blew out a little bit in the final term.
Yeah, we kicked the first 4 points of the last quarter, and I think for probably the first 10 minutes we had it on our terms. Our ball use we tended to bomb from 80 metres out rather than lowering vision. What Park Orchards did really well was share their hands out the back of the contest and actually get 3 or 4 handballs to open up space and a bit of overlap. In the last quarter, we were winning the first possession, but we just didn't understand that overlap handball to give it to somebody that was 40 or 45 out rather than 60, and we tended to bomb from 60, which then I think a couple were touched near the line, one was forced through. I think you said it, the scoreboard probably flattered them to a degree. We got a little bit undisciplined in the last 5 minutes. We were talking before the game, we've had 9 losses. Our percentage is still above 80.
It is.
That's probably unheard of. It shows how competitive we've been all year. But as happens in the colder winter, the boys are starting to get a little bit depressed about losing, and I'm sure we'd all like a win.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get that win for you sometime in the next few weeks.
That'd be good.
Cheers. This is Thomas Flood wrapping it up here at Drummond Reserve for CSM.
This has been another Complete Sports Management production.